Alright guys, what is going on? The BusterBarnes here, bringing you my match preview for Chelsea's away trip to Everton in the Premier League. A very tough fixture, one that we did not fare too well in last season, so hopefully we'll be looking at an improvement going into this game. I will be giving you guys the preview of the game and the team news from Frank Lampard, as well as giving you guys my predicted lineup and my predicted scoreline for this game away at Goodison Park. Just a quick note though before we get started, obviously I did not give you guys a review of Chelsea's 1-1 draw against Krasnodar, as it was just a pretty dull game. I didn't really have time and not a lot happened, so I didn't think it was necessarily worth a video, as there wasn't loads to talk about. However, two things that I will say is it was great to see Billy Gilmore back on the pitch. He put in the man of the match performance, and I also think there was a great performance from Tino Anjorin, who was all over the place, putting in tackles, doing some good attacking work as well. I think on another day we would have won that game comfortably, just maybe wasn't a good day out for players like Abraham, missing a few chances. Jorginho did get the pen taken that away from him, which was a shame, but he did win the penalty, did Abraham, so everyone had their part to play in this game. And I think for a fully rotated side with some youth players as well, I think it was a fine performance and we still did top the group. But as you guys can see on the screen, I did give Gilmore and Anjorin 1 point going into my player of the season point scoring system. So as you can see how the scores are tallying up there for the future videos, and the reviews of my Everton review will obviously be out after the game does commence. But this is the preview, and we'll be talking about the team news and not too much more to add. Obviously Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech still unfortunately out. I believe they should be out for about similar time frames of maybe 2 weeks, so don't expect to see them back probably until the Arsenal game on Boxing Day, but maybe there's a chance we see one of them against West Ham on the bench. I mean, hopefully anyway they're back as soon as possible, regarding they are fit. But on the other news, Lampard did say that Pulisic did feel a bit of a niggle after the Leeds game. However, he has trained normally with the team, so hopefully he is okay. And it's crucial that we keep the fitness to a maximum now. The two players in the same position pretty much as well have been injured. But Everton, they are without some players as well. Digne and Coleman will not be available, I do not believe, for the game. So that could be a good thing for us, and we'll definitely go into my thinking with the predicted lineup. But not too much news to really go on that's new anyway as to this fixture. However, we know it's going to be a tough game. Last season Everton beat us 3-1 in this fixture. It was actually Kovacic that scored the goal for us. But yeah, the centre-back combination of Zuma and Christensen really didn't work. Kepa as well, that sort of back three was not very successful last season, and thank God that we've got two replacements to join Kurt Zuma now, and hopefully it will mean a better result, and hopefully as well that Calvert-Lewin will not be bullying our back line like he did last season. But if I do get into my predicted lineup for the game, obviously Edouard Mendy is going to be in goal. Actually got a rest, did not start against Krasnodar. It was Kepa, who didn't necessarily have a very good performance again. I just think that now we're just trying to keep him, or give him a few minutes to try and loan him out in January, but I'm not too sure who's going to want him. But Edouard Mendy is back between the sticks, and yeah, just decent displays for us all around. He did make a little bit of a mistake in that Leeds game, but I think that's more to do with a chemistry issue between the back line. Obviously he should have left the ball, I think, for someone like Zuma to try and pick up, as we know he loves those last ditch tackles. But either way, we came back and we won the game, and it didn't look like that mistake phased him at all as the game did go on. So I'm still confident with him in goal, and hopefully we can keep another clean sheet, although I'll get onto my score prediction a little bit later. The back four is going to be obviously the sort of standard back four for our main games, and that is going to be Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva, Kurt Zuma and Reece James. Even very good against that Leeds game. The XG of Leeds was still kept under 1. Their goal was just a very good one, a very nice ball into Bamford. The defence couldn't really do much about it, so I do think they're still the people to stick by. They've all been performing very well. Reece James probably our most consistent player so far this season. Ben Chilwell, Thiago Silva have slotted in great, really helping out players like Zuma, helping him develop. He's been awesome in the air, scoring 4 goals already for Chelsea. So a really great performance by our backline so far, and hopefully he can keep going into this this condensed stretch of games where we'll definitely need them all to be switched on and alert. I'm sure we might see a little bit of rotation, but I don't think it will be for this game against Everton, which is one of our more tougher games in this period. But I am going with a 4-3-3. Obviously it is the formation we do like to see, and N'Golo Kante is going to be sitting deep. Really just revitalised his career in this role. Some of us maybe weren't sure, but just the energy that he's got, his passing ability on the ball is definitely still good. It's definitely underrated, and I think Kante maybe has been a bit underrated this season. Now I think when it comes to the end of the season, if he's still performing like this, he'll be recognised as, one of the best midfielders in the league, maybe the best one, at least going defensively, and probably still already is. But Yeah, I think that he's been absolutely great in this role, and it's all about keeping him fit. So I wouldn't expect to see him, all the time going through this period. But I do think for this game he will start, and hopefully he can keep the new sort of look Everton midfield at bay. He will definitely have an important job on his hands. The midfield three now, obviously Havertz and Kovacic did both start that game against Krasnodar, so it's sort of a toss-up of which one was going to start alongside Mason Mount, who will obviously be starting. He got the rest, has been just a complete revelation in this number 8 role. He's been absolutely awesome. Got man of the match against Leeds. Got 1 assist. Could have got more potentially. He's just been performing great for us. And I think as well that the person that should be starting with him is probably going to be Kai Havertz. Obviously, coronavirus, he did have it, and it has affected him. He's even come out and said, Lampard has as well, that it's affected his fitness a bit, him trying to get back to that level. However, he's played minutes against Krasnodar. He played it on the wing, so maybe not as much energy was consumed as maybe for someone like Kovacic. Also, he did look a lot more on it. He was dribbling between players. He was drifting. He was looking a bit more like the Kai Havertz that we saw at points at the start of the season. I think that playing him, he is our most expensive player, and he is someone that I think needs to start this game. And especially with Everton's fullbacks out, I do think that we should really try and exploit them going forward, and using someone with that attacking prowess as Havertz to really exploit maybe a new look Everton defence. So that's why I'm going with him over Kovacic. I think Kovacic and him, and probably even Mount as well, will rotate throughout this period in December, but I will go for Mount and Havertz to both start this game. Obviously, we need to keep an eye on that Wolves fixture, which is only, I believe, 3 days later on the Tuesday. Going into the front three, there's not really much that we can say about this. It is going to be Timo Werner, who I've put on the right, Christian Pulisic on the left, and Olivier Giroud up front. Obviously, Giroud's form is a bit better than Abraham's at the moment. Obviously, getting the goal against Leeds, getting the 4 goals against Sevilla. Tammy just on a little bit of a drop at the moment. I think some people are being a bit harsh on him, and his XG is really high, and that shows the great positions he's getting into. And I just think that maybe we're just seeing a little bit of a dip in form from Abraham. I'm sure he will recollect his goal scoring ability very soon. Could even come off the bench and do something good, hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, with Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech out, it is going to be Werner and Pulisic. Looking very good when Pulisic was on the left and Werner was on the right, so that is what I've gone for. And Werner loves an assist, and we know that he's going to keep pushing and keep going and keep trying to score against Everton, and it will be great. Hopefully Pulisic can stay fit, as he has looked good. He looks good against Leeds, got that goal as well, which hopefully can boost him up to the form that we saw at that restart period last season. So hopefully him continuing that would be great for us all to see. But that is going to be my predicted lineup, guys. Let me know yours in the comments below. I'm sure all of yours is very similar, apart from maybe some of you have Kovacic in instead of Havertz. Wouldn't be too fussed either way which one of them was to start, but I've just gone for Havertz to exploit maybe the lack of defensive players in that Everton team at the moment. But if I'm going into my predicted scoreline, and this was a tough one, Everton away is not usually a great fixture for us. We have won big before when we won, I believe, wasn't it 6-3 that one time in that crazy game at Goodison Park. But a lot of the time we do see 1-0 losses, or even last season the 3-1. Everton, I'm not sure if they're allowed fans back in the stadium. Let me know down below. I'm not too sure what it's like in Liverpool. I think they're still not allowed, but I'm not 100% sure. But I am actually going to go for a 3-1 Chelsea win. I think Everton's attack with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin is too good to maybe keep them out. I am going to go with Calvert-Lewin. Actually, no, I'm actually going to go with Richarlison getting the goal for Everton. But then I do believe we will score 3. I'm going to go for Timo Werner to get himself a goal. I'm going to go for Mason Mount as well to get himself a goal, which might be a bit of a surprise. Hasn't scored in a while since that West Brom game. And I think for the third goal, I'm going to go for Tammy Abraham off the bench. Why not, to get a goal? Maybe this is just me wishful thinking, but I mean 3-1. Those are the scores I'm going for. 3 different scorers. We do seem to like to spread the goals around this team, which obviously no one I think has scored more than 4 goals in the league so far, which shows it shows unity. It shows how good all the players are going around, how informed this team is in general. So yeah, very nice to see, and hopefully we can pick up the win away against Everton and use that form to push into a tricky away game against Wolves also. But that is going to be my preview for this Chelsea versus Everton game, guys. Do let me know in the comments below your score and team predictions, and as always, do leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for my review, which will be coming out after the game has commenced. I do hope all of you have a nice day, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time.